Now let's look at algebra of matrices. So when we say algebra, what comes to mind? Then you know that you're talking about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and those sort. So how do we perform algebra of matrices? So first, let's talk about addition and subtraction of matrices. So before you can carry out addition and subtraction of matrices, a condition must be satisfied, and the condition is that the matrices must have the same number of columns and rows. What does this mean? It means that they must have the same dimension. So when this condition is met, you can carry out the operation for the corresponding elements in each matrices. So for example, we are told that A is equals to 1, 3, 8 minus 6, B is equals to this, and C is equals to this. We are now asked to find A plus B minus C. So as you can see from the first one, this is a 2 by 2 matrix. Also, this is a 2 by 2 matrix, and this is a 2 by 2 matrix. So since the matrices have the same dimension, then we can add and subtract. So A plus B minus C will just be equals to carrying out the operation for corresponding elements within each of the cells of these matrices. So for A now, for this first cell which is contained in A, so the first cell here will be represented by 1, then the first cell here is what? For B is 4, so what? Plus 4, and we now have minus, and the first cell for C is 5, so minus 5. So that will be what will be in the first cell. In the second cell now, you are going to move to the next cell of the element here. So you have what? 8, and here you have plus B, but B in this case is 0, plus 0. And here you have minus C, C in this case is 3, minus 3. Then we'll move downwards here, and here we'll have the element here is what? 3, then in B plus B is what? 3, and in C is minus 1. So we have minus into bracket minus 1. And in the last cell here we have what? We have minus 6, then plus B in this case which will be plus 1, and here also we have now minus C, and C in this case is minus 4, minus 4. So we just solve this. So what will that result in? What is 1 plus 4? 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. So we have 0 here. What is 8 plus 0? 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. So we have 5 here. What is 3 plus 3 is 6. Minus times minus is plus. So 6 plus 1 is 7. So we have 7 here. And finally, minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. Minus 5 minus 4 is minus 9. So when you carry out A plus B minus C, the answer will be 0, 5, 7 minus 9. So to recap, what would you do? You have to first make sure that the dimensions of the matrices are the same. If they are the same, then you perform that operation for each of the corresponding cells in each of the matrices to get the result. So now let's talk about scalar multiplication of a matrix. So scalar multiplication just means multiplying all the elements in a matrix by a quantity or by a number. You multiply the scalar quantity by all the elements in the cell of the matrix. So for example, we are told that A is given as that. So we are now told to find 3A. So 3A will just be 3 times matrix A, which is 1, 8, 3, and minus 6. And what do? We just multiply all the elements in the matrix by 3. So what are you going to have? 1 times 3 is 3. 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times minus 6 is minus 18. So you have this. Now, in the B part of the question, we are told to find minus A over 2. Minus A over 2 can also be written as what? Minus 1 over 2A. So this can be written as minus half into brackets 1, 8, 3, and minus 6. So all we do is to multiply all the elements in the matrix by this scalar quantity minus half. So that will result in, so the first one you have half times minus half. So here you have what? 8 times minus half. Here you have 3 times minus half. And finally you have minus 6 times minus half. And what would that result in? 1 times minus half will give me minus half. 8 times minus half will give me minus 4. 3 times minus half will give me minus 3 over 2. And my minus 6 times minus half will give me 3. So minus a over 2 is same as this matrix over here. So now let's look at an example that combines our knowledge of addition and subtraction with scalar multiplication. So here we are given 3 matrices. We are told that A is equals to this, B is equals to this, and C is equals to this. And now told to find A minus 2B plus 3C. So what are the first things we have to do? We have to first find the value of 2B and 3C. So we know that 2B will just be equals to 2 times the elements in B, which are 4, 0, 3, 1. And what would that be? 2 times 4, 8. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 3, 6. And 2 times 1, 2. Similarly, we can find the value of 3C. So 3C just because of 3 times all the elements in C, which are 5, 3, minus 1 and 4. So what would that result in? 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. And 3 times 4 is 12. So now that we have found the value of 2B and 3C, we can now find the value of A minus 2B plus 3C. So now that will be equals to what? It's going to be a 2 by 2 matrix also. And in the first element, or in the first cell here, we are going to have the A value here is what? 1 minus the 2B value is what? 8. 1 minus 8. And the 3C value is what? 15. So we have 1 minus 8 then plus 15. So for the second cell over here, you have A, your A value here is 8. And your B value here is what? 0. So you have 8 minus 0. And your 3C value here is what? 9. So 8 minus 0 plus 9. And in the cell over here, you have your A value is 3. And your 2B value is 6. So you have 3 minus 6. And your 3C value is minus 3. So plus minus 3. And for the last element or the last cell, you have your A value here is minus 6. Then minus my 2B value here is what? 2. And my 3C value is, oh, there's a mistake here. 3 by 4 is not 14, it's 12. So my 3C value here will be what? Plus 12. So when I simplify that, what would I get? 1 minus 8 is minus 7. And minus 7 plus 15 is 8. So here will be 8. 8 minus 0 is 8. 8 plus 9 is 17. So here will be 17. Plus times minus is minus. So you have minus here. So you have 3 minus 6, which is minus 3. And minus 3 minus 3 will be what? Minus 6. And finally, I have minus 6 minus 2, which gives me minus 8. And minus 8 plus 12 gives me 4. So when you carry out this operation, A minus 2B plus 3C, the answer is what? This matrix that is here, in which the elements in the cells are 8, 17, minus 6, and 4. So now let's talk about the multiplication of matrices. So before you can multiply two matrices together, a condition must be satisfied. And the condition is that the number of columns in the first matrix must be equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. So first, you have to check to ensure that the number of columns in the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. And if this condition is met, then you can multiply those matrices together. As in this example, you have what? 2 columns in the first matrix and you have 2 rows in the second matrix, and since they are equal, you can multiply these matrices together. So what will be the dimension of the resulting matrix when you multiply 2 matrices together? So let's assume you have a matrix by dimension m times n multiplied by another matrix of dimension n times k. The resulting dimensions will be what? M by k, where m represents the number of rows in the first column, and k represent the number of columns in the second matrix rather. So here you have a 2 by 2 matrix multiplied by a 2 by 2 matrix. So the resulting matrix is going to be the number of rows in the first matrix, which is 2, by the number of columns in the second matrix, which is 2. So the resulting matrix is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. So how do you fill in that the cells now? So if you look, what you do is that you multiply the first row by the first column to get the element here in the first cell over here. So now this is the first row and this is the first column. So I have what? A times E plus B times G. So I have AE plus BG. For this second element or this second cell over here, I have the first row by the second column. So I have A times F plus B times H. For this cell over here, I have the second row by the first column, and that will be what? C times E plus D times G. And for the last cell over here, I have the second row by the second column, and that will be C times F plus D times H. So let's see how to do this with real numbers now. So here we are told to multiply these two matrices. We are told to find AB, that is A times B, and we're also told to find B times A. So let's start out by finding A times B. So first, is the number of columns in the first matrix equals to the number of rows in the second matrix? And the answer I did is yes, because you have 2 columns here and you have 2 rows here, so they are equal. So what would the resulting matrix be? So here you have a 3 by 2 matrix, and here you have a 2 by 3 matrix. So as we've discussed, the resulting matrix will be the number of rows in the first matrix, which is 3, and the number of columns in the second matrix, which is 3. So the resulting matrix is going to be a 3 by 3 matrix. So let's try to solve this now. So I have my A times my B. So my AB will be equals to, first, to get the first cell here, I multiply my first row by my first column here. So I have 3 times 4 plus 2 times 5. So I have what? 3 times 4 plus 2 times 5. Then to get the second cell over here, I'll multiply my first row by my second column. So I have 3 times 3 plus 2 times 1. Then the final one here, I'll multiply my first row by my third column, and that will give me what? 3 times minus 2 plus 2 times 4. Now to get the element in this cell, I'll multiply my second row by the first column. So I have what? 4 times 4 plus 1 times 5. To get the one over here, I'll multiply my second row by my second column over here. So I have what? 4 times 3 plus 1 times 1. And the last one over here, I'll multiply my second row by my third column, which will be what? 4 times minus 2 plus 1 times 4. Then I'll repeat the same thing for the third row. So to get the element here, I'll multiply my third row by my first column, and that will be what? 5 times 4 plus minus 1 times 5. To get over here, I'll multiply my third row by my second column, and that will be what? 5 times 3 plus minus 1 times 1. And for the last element over here, I'm going to have my third row by my third column, which is going to be what? 5 times minus 2 plus minus 1 times 4. And what would that result in if we do this? So here we have what? 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus, and 2 times 5 is 10. Here we have 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 2 times 1, which is 2. So here we have 9 plus 2. And finally here we have 3 times minus 2, which is minus 6, and 2 times 4, which is 8. So we have what? Minus 6 plus 8. Then over here we have 4 times 4, which is 16, and 1 times 5, which is 5. Here we have 4 times 3, which is 12, and 1 times 1, which is 1. And over here we have 4 times minus 2, which is minus 8, and 1 times 4, which is 4. So over here we have 4 times 5, which is 20, and 1 times 5, which is minus 1 times 5, which is minus 5. Then we have 5 times 3, which is 15, and 1 times minus 1, which is minus 1. And then we have 5 times minus 2, which is minus 10, and minus 1 times 4, which is minus 4. So when we do this, we have what? AB being equals to, so what is 12 plus 10? That will be 22. 9 plus 2 is 11. Minus 6 plus 8 is 2. 16 plus 5 is 21. 12 plus 1 is 13. Minus 8 plus 4 is minus 4. 20 minus 5 is 15. 15 minus 1 is 14. And minus 10 minus 4 is minus 14. So the product of AB results in what? This matrix. So now let's try to solve and find B times A. So to find B times A, what are we trying to look for? So let's look at that. So we first write out B. So we have what? B, and B here is what? So we are trying to find the product of B in this case, which is 4, 5, 3, 1, minus 2 and 4 times what? A. And A in this case is what? 3, 2, 4, 1, 5 and minus 1. So now we look, is the number of columns in the first matrix equals to the number of rows in the second matrix? And the answer is what? Yes, because here we have what? 3 columns. This is a 2 by 3 matrix. So we have 3 columns, and here this is a 3 by 2 matrix. So we have what? 3 rows over here. So they are equal. So the next question we ask is that what is going to be the result or the product of these two matrices? So the product is going to be the number of rows here, which is 2, and the number of columns here, which is 2. So the resulting matrix is going to be what? A 2 by 2 matrix. So we'll try to solve that. So now when we have this, so what do we do to get the first element in the 2 by 2 matrix? We multiply the first row by the first column. So over here, we are going to have what? The first row times the first column. 4 times 3 plus, we are going to have 3 times 4 plus, I'm going to have minus 2 times 5. Then to get the second cell here, you are going to multiply the first row by the second column. So here you are going to have what? 4 times 2. Then what? Plus, you are going to have 3 times 1 plus, and you are going to have what? Minus 2 times minus 1. Now to get the element here, you are going to multiply the second row by the first column. So what is that going to give me? I'm going to have 5 times 3 plus 1 times 4, then plus 4 times 5. And for the last element over here, I'm going to multiply the second row by the second column. So here I'm going to have 5 times 2 plus 1 times 1 and plus 4 times minus 1. And what is that going to be? So when I try to simplify it, what is going to be? 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. And 2 times minus 2 times 5 is minus 10. Over here, I'm going to have 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3. Minus 2 times minus 1 is plus 2. Here I'm going to have 5 times 3, which is 15. 1 times 4, which is 4. And 4 times 5, which is 20. And finally over here, I'm going to have 5 times 2, which is 10. 1 times 1, which is 1. And 4 times minus 1, which is minus 4. So when I solve this, what would this result into? 12 plus 12 is 24 minus 10, give me 14. 8 plus 3 is 11 plus 2 gives me 13. 15 plus 4 is 19 plus 20 gives me 39. And 10 plus 1 is 11 minus 4 gives me 7. So when I multiply these two matrices together, the result is given by this. So as you can see from the first example, when I multiplied A times B gave me a 3 by 3 matrix. and now that I'm multiplying b times a, I'm getting a 2 by 2 matrix. So that means that what, when you are multiplying matrix, AB is not the same thing as BA, is not equals to BA. So multiplying A times B is not the same thing as multiplying B times A. So the order indeed matters, so you must take note of that. And that pretty much sums up all you need to know with regards to multiplication of matrices. So I would suggest that you go through your textbook and you try to look for other questions relating to multiplication so that you can hone your skills in multiplying matrices to avoid making silly mistakes when you come across them in your exam.